months. Is it wet outside? Is it cold and dark? Of course it is. You're in winter, Mark. Home of the winter folk, scions of the storm. We're hardy and we're practical, we're savage and we're tactical, and loyal to a fault when your back is up against the wall. For the Empire, none more loyal and damn proud of it. We gave it our laws, we gave it the Senate, we gave it bloody scarsins, but let's not dwell on it. 3 people, 1 nation, sounds confusing, let me give an explanation. 3 into 1 made stronger as a whole, from alliance was formed our nation's soul. Now it's said we're bloodthirsty and that we're too aggressive, and it's true, but we're trying to be a little more progressive. Look at Sigvald there, the most civil man that I know. It's been 3 days since he fucked a war rhino. You don't get us, I can see it in your eyes, but we're 7 kinds of special, so it comes as no surprise. Let me break it down, take it one by one, and tell you of our people through the medium of song. Cause when the war drums sound and the Empire calls and the banners rise and the axe blow falls and a nation sings its battle song, 10,000 voices rise as one, and we sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark, sing for the Steiner, sing for the Suak, sing for the Calabasian, sing for the Mark. Down from the tundra, out of the snow, where even the winter markers fear to go, from Ika's tears to the howling gale of Sidanya. Ice walkers, beast stalkers, masters of the riddle and the fireside tale, with eyes so sharp and minds so cunning, they'll kill you with the arrow that you never saw coming. It's the Suak! Heart of the nation, born on the ice floes, forgotten more lore than anyone else knows. When the storm breaks and the foemen stir, you'll see that real heroes wear fur. Cause when the war drums sound and the Empire calls and the banners rise and the axe blow falls, then a nation sings its battle song. 10,000 voices rise as one, and we sing for the Steiner, sing for the Sioux.
Hello, everybody. Bunch of big damn heroes right there. Oh, Chris is here. I wonder why Chris is here. Oh, dear. Oh. Oh, the Complunk actually worked this time. Hey, that's good to see. Hello mate, how you doing? I think it's hotter here than it is in Australia at the moment, so this is good. Hi Matt, Gibby, Zara, Beth, Liam, Ben, Dawn. God, no one likes Dawn. Wow, it is warm. 19 months. Thank you very much, Chris. That's amazing. Bolam as well. Oh, nearly at a hype train. Esme, I hope you're okay. Don't really know how to start this one. I normally have things to talk about, other things going on, but I'm just it was the heat, mate. It was Dawn won the battle because of the heat, because no one turned up. No one turned up to Monster. I'm well though. My nose is well crispy. I bet it was a hot one. It was a really hot one. I have to admit, I was hoping for a little bit of rain, like on Saturday afternoon or something. I think that would have helped. None of us Drooge could be bothered to even polyplate up in the heat. No, I did hear that. Yeah, there was a lot of it going on. But hey, Freaky Friars, good to meet you. Good to meet you, my friend. That was really nice. You have to come by again. Oh, is that do we actually get a hype train there? Oh, 93%. That's awesome. Yeah, everyone was wanting rain by Saturday afternoon. It was. I hope beyond the heat we want to get. I had an amazing summit. I had an amazing event, which is really strange because like since E2 last year, my events have been crap. I've had a year of crap events, so I still have Pay Your Fucking Bard in my head. Yes, that was a very good song. To cider or not to cider, that is the question. I've got Cold Fosters, that's left from Empire. So that's what I'm going to have. So yeah, I hope everybody is doing all right. And everybody had a good event. Where to start? That's the tough one. Because, I mean, Thursday night was great, seeing everybody as always. Yeah. Yeah, they're both, I mean, Pud and that, they're great. So it will go onto SoundCloud, I'm sure. So Thursday night was great. We had everything set up. There was no real issues. I mean, I missed Alex to come and sit on our bar. He was definitely missed. He missed a very busy event on the bar. But his car blew up twice. So, you know. Any negatives? That's a good one. Any negatives from the event? I mean, I would say the heat, but the heat wasn't even a negative for me. We cooled down Saturday night when evacuating the camp due to a gas fire. Yeah, I heard about that at great length because Tiny and Gallon, who helped sort it out, was sat in our camp, telling everybody at great length how much of a hero they were. But you know, I'm glad that it was all sorted out quickly, and anybody who was worried about it all had a good evening. Jazz, yeah, Jazz was one of my highlights of this event. She really was amazing. So let's go through. So anything that shocked or surprised you? Oh, Mochi, yeah. There was. I'll tell you what. There was so much that went on this event. So yeah, Thursday was great, just sitting down, chilling, and everything. And then Friday morning happened, and everything was fine. But I obviously did too much on both days, and I was feeling it. I did take the field. You're a mega highlight for me, and Jen and James too. Fucking love it. Love hearing that people have had a good event, and I'm glad that I can help people with game. Only really not is basically our entire. That's very good actually. So our hall picked up injuries. Let's put it that way. We were Arsenal running in for the Premier League title and failing. People got injured and hurt and weren't feeling well, and all of that. These things happen. It just happens. You can't plan for it. So, so I suppose that's the knot. Everyone got picked up an owie of some sort. So that sucked. But so when it came to packing down, we could only do what we could do. So me and Helen had to run off because of the gardener here smashed the window. And we were, you better know my words, were not happy during packing. I know, of course they weren't. No one's ever happy during pack down and putting stuff away. No one's ever happy, and because it's the worst time of the event. So we had our window broken, and with the storm coming in, we had to leave early because we couldn't risk everything in the car getting absolutely saturated and then the window being open and all of that. We couldn't risk it, so we had to leave. Helen wasn't feeling very well because of the heat. I wasn't feeling well because of the heat, and I was keeping hydrated as well. I think that was my best ever event for hydration and food, which was incredible for me. Then you had Rabbit have a full on. He was not a well man at all. So yeah, he was not a well man at all. Thank you, hun. I was just gonna say, can we just ban him? No, I hate dickheads. Um, yeah, so Rabbit overdid it, like all of us did, and so he wasn't well. His eyes literally were glazed over, and we had to get him sorted. So yeah, that would be it. There would be everyone not being well. But I mean, we managed to pack away. We managed to at least put our tent down to help out a little bit. But I think the good. I mean, that's the only bad. The good massively outweighs everything that ever happened. Genuinely spent 2 hours on Sunday just horizontal and constantly drenching myself. Yeah, there was a lot of unwellness. Big happy times though. I got to stay up. Yes, Messi was here with us all event, which was phenomenal. Which was really, really good. But it was great because she is such a big deal. And I know everyone in chat agrees that Messi is a big deal. So that's good. Then, no. So there's that. So yeah, so Friday started. I'd been unwell before the event, so I could not take the field. But the vibes on the camp are good when everyone goes off, and I found some fun stuff to do. That's good. A real big deal. Yeah, I know you didn't. We behaved. Messi is a big deal. Oh, I was so with you about it. Ah, hey, so loved your hat. Speaking of bad personal experience, it doesn't matter if you stay super hydrated. A bad heat will make anyone feel sick. Yeah, very, very true. This is very, very true. I needed to cover my head. That was it for me. And Rabbit, I think, was the same because he normally wears a hat but didn't. There was a distinct lack of goodnight, Digby, goodnight as well. I made him smile. That's good. Love Salt. Love having him come up and just sit down and have a drink and all of that. So this heat was a nasty one, so I can't imagine it, an event during it. Hope everyone is recovering well. So I went to bed about midnight in the end. I had a massive dirty kebab. Me and Helen had like a mixture of kebabs, pizza, and I had a burger as well. I just ate crap because I needed the fats back, basically. I know it doesn't look like I need the fats back, but I needed to get the fats back into the system. It was too hot even to have a single alcoholic drink. Fuck knows how I didn't get sunburnt. Yeah, and I didn't get drunk. I was just drinking, which was nice. Although I wasn't at the event, mad props to the Imperial Orcs in that heat. Their cold tent is phenomenal. They walk in, they take everything off, and it's just cold air, and it dries them all. It's amazing. What was up with the burritos this time? They were really good. Were they good? I'm way less burnt than I deserve to be. Yeah, I'm not burnt. I'm not burnt at all. Maybe on my elbows, but that's about it. Comfy drinking, not drunk drinking. Yeah, that's it. So on Friday, it was just everybody got to know each other. We did our hall oath, which was really good. So the hall got putting bits to it, and Choco Moco Latte wrote the oath for us with input from people, and I took it super seriously. I mean, so seriously. What the fuck is that? So I just got attacked by something. So yeah, I took it so seriously. I sat there, I read every word out. Yeah, I did ad-lib the word heresy into the oath. I'm so sworn in, not to us, but to bullshit. What? I'm sure you shouldn't be in the hall as you didn't say it properly. I think I was the only one who didn't say it properly. I don't say half of it. and I ad-libbed half of it as well. And then heresy was mentioned at least a few times. But it was... So after E1, where I was so ill, I was just shit and I shouldn't have gone. It was so nice to be at an event where I actually had energy and I could do stuff. So it felt like me being my old self again. Oh, I'll get to that, Chris. Oh, we will get to that because that was on. Was that on the Friday? Yes, that was on the Friday, wasn't it? So yeah, we did that. We did the Hall Oath and everything was gravy. Everyone's sworn in. I probably shouldn't be. Gonna look for a wee bit. Still getting over heat stroke. No, that's all good. That is all good. You chill. You chill. Just you chill and listen. That's all you need to do. Lurkers welcome. So yeah, so we did that, and then the night potion that I've talked about on getting on stream last year, in that glass vial, the ribbon on it and everything. I drank it at this event. It was interesting. So the potion itself, because it's plot it's pretty much resolved, so I can talk about it. I've got one thing to do, and then it's done. It's resolved, which is good. Did it taste like blueberries? No, it didn't. It tasted like having a memory stolen and replaced with another horrible memory. That's what it was like. And the horrible memory was from the Brass Coast, which was interesting, really interesting. So Chris and his... yes, Sambuca. So Chris and another Night Mage came down. I can't remember his name. I think it was Sky or something. I can't remember. So yeah, so Brett and this other guy was there. And they went through and they looked at it all and they just said, so a long night out in Manchester. Yeah, it wasn't... yes, yeah, that is why I was walking around with swords everywhere. So basically I took this potion and it put a memory in my head of a guy whose brother had been murdered by their nephew. And it imprinted that memory. So one person who I looked at, this person who I had to pick so basically I had to pick a person and this memory would have been imprinted onto them, and the person I was looking at, I would see this nephew who had murdered my brother. Cal's backstory has none of this in it whatsoever. So yes, Chris is actually innocent for once. I know who did this memory now, which is great. So it's it was really weird. So I went through my head and I was just like, I picked 3 people in my head, thinking, right, so I'm gonna look at this person and I'm gonna say, right, I know you and I know you killed my brother, even though they didn't kill my brother. It was just a fake memory. So I thought, okay, well, if I see Gallon, it'll be him. If I see Kit, it'll be him. Or if I saw Smith, it would be him. Because I thought, that would be a laugh. And then I thought, oh, Dan could handle it. And literally, as all of this happened, it couldn't have been written any better. The tent door opened. The tent just opened. Dan stuck his head through the door going, I just bought some slow gin. And I was just stood there. I was just like, okay, pulled out the axe, cleaved his leg out, took him straight down. Hello, Yogurt. I took him straight down, so he was down and out. Then he cleaved my leg out and I picked myself back up. Yes, it really did fuck with me. It was so good. So the timing from Dan, Alden, was absolutely perfect. So I had just done this all. And then, so you were a little responsible. So he stuck his head in. I saw him and was like, "You fucker!" So I cleaved the leg out. He went down. He cleaved my leg, which it turns out he can't actually do now. I didn't realise that. Hello, Biscuit. You should have let me execute him. Well, yeah. So I got myself back up because I got relentless. So I picked myself back up, healed the limb, cleaved his arm so he couldn't basically use his weapon. And then I was stood there because I didn't realise, or I didn't think about, was because everybody in the hall is fairly new. None of them are combat people, really. Apart from Patrick, but he was at military council, so he wasn't even there. So I'm stood behind Dan with my axe on the back of his neck, and I'm Hi Goose from Salt, yeah, Biscuit. Really looked like Goose. And I had the axe on the back of his neck, and I was doing the 5 seconds of roleplay to execute. If Esme wasn't there, and she didn't hit me, Alden would be dead. That was it. It literally happened in like 30 seconds. So it was just like cleave, he cleaved me, got back up, cleaved him, down he went, axe on the back of his neck, and I'm like gearing up for the execute, and then Esme hit me. And that broke up the role play, and I then beat up Esme and put her down. And and then Dan was back up and running around like a lunatic, and I was chasing him around. I had Brat there as well, who shattered about 4 of my weapons. But I was next to the hall armory, so I just kept on picking up new weapons. So I cleaved his leg out and left him on the floor because he was in the way, and that was it. I just you had nothing. But I was a bit. I wanted everybody to jump me. I literally wanted the entire hall to come in and just panel beat me onto the floor. So Helen kept on giving Chris mage bloods as well. And that's so sent a runner to get your armor. But yeah, they did really. Everyone was good. But I took out half the hall, and then I ended up in high guard, and I had to get my God, it was so bad. I had to have an exorcism done because there was no mechanical effects on this potion. There was literally no mechanical. It was purely roleplay. So there was no mechanical effect on how to stop this thing going on. So it was just a case of keeping an eye on holding as a contingency plan for a raging Cal. It's run to get other halls to jump me, I think. It was quite no, I was only interested in murdering my nephew, the nephew. But it was really good. It got a lot of people. This was the potion that was full of plot. That I was told. I was told this was fun plot. So Cal, hypothetically, if this... Oh, that was so good. That was so good. So we did all of this. I chased Dan around the toilets a couple of times. And it was great because we then got back and he ran off to hide. And I gave up on chasing him, basically. I wasn't running anywhere. And we all went... I was just stood there looking. And I was stood outside Hendel Hearth. Yeah, in this heat. I know. And so I was stood outside Hendel Hearth just sort of looking around. And I saw Beth behind the toilets. And I thought, okay, I'm going to turn around and look the other way. So she's terrible. If you ever want to play hide and seek with someone, play it with Beth. Because she's rubbish at it. Yes. Yeah. That's the big thing. Yeah, never let me take any more potions. And then, so I turned around to ignore them. So, because I saw them behind the bin. They were hiding. And then I thought, right, this has to get done. So I'd already gone up to the Navarre to go and see the 2 feet. And I was telling Kit, because I needed to get insighted. And they got up there and they said to Kit, you need to insight him, because he's a priest. And he just went, he's like, no, I can't do anything. Yeah, he did nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. It was hilarious. So I ended up going down and then was stood there. And then I saw him behind the bin. So I walked over and I saw Dan run off and that. And then I saw him cut left into the woods. But they were all like, yeah, where would he go? We were stood outside the hub. And then Sidgar, so Matt, Sidgar turned around to me and just said, if someone had taken a potion and you didn't know what was wrong with their head, what would you do? And I was just like, I'd get a priest and I'd incite them. And it's just like the brilliant question. Yeah, Helen was stood back at camp thinking, yeah, they're taking me off to get me. That Kit was inciting me, but no, did nothing. It was so funny. Hey, social. How you doing, man? So I've no idea how to find a priest though. You just shout for a priest, and then you'll get about 8. And that was it. And so they all went off, and then Beth and Matt decided to take me off to Highguard. Yeah, so they took me off to Highguard. Found a random person in Highguard, and she was great. And so she incited me. We had a little chat, and then she did an exorcism, and that was it. And it was it, and they did the whole. Then I ran to Steve and said, "Priest." Yeah, he turned up. Yeah, so in Highguard, her role play was wonderful. Part of me was hoping we'd have bumped into Kyle, because that would have been so much fun. So in Highguard they were great, but it was like everybody was just running around panicking. The militia had arrived to try to see. Well, Alfred the Bloody had arrived to say, "Oh, what was going on? What's going on?" Okay, well, I'll leave you to it, and then fucked off. He had other things to do. Hey, Scott, I didn't even realise you were at the event. But we literally bumped into... it was the first person in Highguard we saw. First camp, everything. And we hadn't got the area consecrated as well. How you doing, Scott? I hope you're good, mate. I hope you had a good event. So it was just... it was so fun. And she did... I think my favourite, but was getting back and Messi going, "You're calm now, bitch." Yeah, but the thing is though, is that area effect can be in place, but I can spend a hero point to ignore it as well. So it's an interesting one. Good but hot. Yeah. So I think the funny thing is that camp that we popped into, if she wasn't there, the very next camp that we would have gone to would have been Shattered Tower. So it would have been interesting to go and see all the old vampire buddies. So we did that. She did an exorcism, and that's. So I've still got the memory, and oh god, yeah, the marches. That was fun. So that was literally the first thing that happened on Friday. And we had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of stuff done. And I drink a winter potion. I tell you, I did take a couple of drugs this event as well, which was quite nice. So because last event I said to everybody, oh my pack was huge, so I need a new pouch. Look at the state of this thing. But it's not just that, it's actually full. But this was attached. This is all drugs. This is all that was attached to my pack. So I knew there was a reason I wanted to leave my little bag there. But it was a lot of fun. So I missed out on the fighting then as I was changing nappies. Yes. Yes, you did. If you would come along though, having a little so yeah, I'd forgotten about that. That was brilliant. Yeah. So I watched Biscuit do 2 drugs, and the first one was fantastic. He said he took a drug and he says, "Oh, I feel amazing. Everything's great," and all of this sort of stuff. And then I forget who you passed it to, Biscuit, but they read the Lammy and instead of it being a chaos fruit, they just said, "You've just drunk a sovereign specific, not a chaos fruit. So you haven't taken any drug. You haven't taken any drugs." It was great. That was perfect. You really Kagan'd it. Did you find the actual Lammy in the end? Did you find the right card? It was so good. It was absolutely brilliant. And then, and yeah, now he's down a sovereign specific. It was so. Oh, you found it good. I got the rest of them. Yeah, my sweet summer child. I know. It was priceless. Then I gave him another drug to take, and gave him another drug to take, and it was. I literally didn't know. Yeah, it does. Yeah, inside. So I gave him a drug, and it was Kraken's ink, and it was literally, and he took it, and it was just like, yeah, this is great, nice, chill, confidence, doesn't feel bad about anything. It was really cool. So yeah, so he did have a proper drug in the end, but I got literally inundated as it all went on. So I've got so many. Cool. Yeah, this is literally my pile of stuff. Yeah, Kraken's ink. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah, that's what you had. You had Kraken's ink. I've got loads of them, mate. So I gave one to Smith as well. I've got loads. Yeah. So the thing that you had a cat's piss epidemic. Yeah. No idea of the real name. So that's Yellow Lotus. That was. No, the Kraken is going to give you something different. So don't worry about that, Biscuit, because that's going to give you something very, very different. It just has to, because otherwise you're getting that higher level and paying that much money for something that I can get for £1. It's not fair. That it would make the whole game really unfair. So there is no way that PD will let you have that. So, but yeah, that's just the name of the drug, Kraken's ink. Oh, what have I missed? What have I missed? 2 things named the same thing. Oh, Beth wasn't happy with something. It's gone past now. Save me some ink, please, for reasons. Yeah. No worry. No worries there at all. Yeah, Kraken's ink was good. It's a confidence thing. But we got all the drug game, because me thinking it was all over last event, turns out has created so much plot, and I'm really excited about throwing myself into what this bit of the game has now become, because it's become something massive. So when the Axos lot turned up, when they all turned up to sell the drugs, and I walked along, and you could see some people there. There are other things going on, the queue was from the forge all the way to the road, and everybody wanted to get some drugs. And I was sort of stood there, and with Galen, I was just thinking, I'm not going, I'm not queuing. So I just walked up to the front because I saw Patches. I saw Patches up there, and I was like, we had a little chat, and then we got the Axos people said that they wanted to buy a drug themselves, so I sold it to them. And then I walked away because everyone thought cat's piss was illegal. But that's ongoing plot, so I can't really talk about that. But that's going to be interesting. Yeah, look for a massive smear campaign at the next event. Modly insulted that Ephesus didn't want your bottle. Your bottle is too plot orientated. There was no way they'd kill the plot. There's no way. Your friend got arrested. Wait a minute, was that the Dunnings thing? Try Bart's box in Urizen. You'll have to tell me about that one. But the whole thing went really well. So all of this was going on, and then so this was Saturday afternoon. The drugs was going around. We were showing some new players around. We had to explain that not all drugs are illegal. Yeah. I mean, I hate bite with a passion. I just don't want it, and I always want to get rid of it. And the Navari lady came after. She wanted to skine it as well. The skine is a Wintermark thing, so you'd have to get one of the Wintermark people to do a skine reading of it if they can. You see, cat piss is all right. No, Skine of Years, the ritual. Sorry, misunderstood. Cat's piss is fine. It's just addictive. It's like Ephesus' scale, but better. I will be well up for that then. Yeah, I'd have to give that one a go. So yeah, there was loads of stuff going on with the drugs and around the drugs. I finally had people coming back to me with money and stuff like that. Yeah. Welcome to my game, to be honest with that. So we had all of this stuff going on and around us. Loads of people were coming over. Then I started to help people trading, and I was putting I was putting groups together, and I was helping out. So I've helped be like the mediator for one big deal that's got a building built, and then I got the stuff together for another two, which was fantastic, and it made the senators love me because it means they don't have to go around chasing stuff and everything. So, but I've been given the contact details for Axos now, so I can write to them and see if they can do things for me and help out, which is great. And then I want a drug that makes me lots of money when I take it. Oh, if only. So yeah, I'm kind of... I was getting ready to just ignore the drug game completely. But I thought I was out, but then it pulled me back in. So that was really cool. So I've now got to go off and do... I've got so much stuff to do with it. But it's all going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. The sign outside of Anvil reads, "Welcome to the city of Anvil. Not every drug is illegal." Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was getting people like coming up to me and asking for bite as well, even though I don't do it. Goose Whisper is great. I haven't taken Goose Whisper for a while. I like Goose Whisper. I need to find me some more plot. Oh, Ding Dong, the Vig is dead. Yeah, that was fun. Hearing and getting all of that stuff going on. I wasn't even involved in it. Do any other drugs give visions? Yes, but they're not legal. So there is. Oh no, there is another one that's legal, but it's very rare. I have to try and remember which one it is. I've got a book somewhere. So there's lots of stuff like that. So the drugs game was brilliant, and I drew. Truly Owl is a past life vision. So that is, if we can get some Truly Owl, then, well, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Goose Whisper is sacred to the Calavasi. Very, very much so. But then again, we have Goose Whisper parties. Digby says he can get us some Truly Owl. His book club. Yeah. Panda, have you got anything to add about this book club? Do you know anything about a book club at all? You hotboxed it. Yeah, we've done the hotbox. We've gone on Goose Whisper Vision quests. Pete's fault for leaving me alone to entertain him. Digby should shut up. Yeah. This is all OC. No, nothing. Can't read. Okay, excellent. One of the Dornish houses got 2 Truly Owl this summit. 2? Fuck's sake. Bastards. Which ones? I'm going to mug them all. Just have to get them back into their tent on their own. Some winterfolk will be mad if non-winterfolk winterfolk take Goose. Some will not. Yeah, I don't care. Visions are good. I've opened a beer and I haven't even had any yet. Someone will be asked about non-Calavasi taking it too. Yeah, I just don't want the Suak taking it. Because they're all dickheads. No one likes the Suak. Well, I think I probably like 2 or 3, maybe. That's alright, Biscuit. I like you. Beth's alright. No one likes the Suak. Yeah. So, yeah, the Goose Whisper stuff is good. Is very, very good. Here's the question: Suak or Dawn? I don't want to answer that. High guard. There we go. I likely cannot be at E3 with my brother wanting to go. With my brother wanting to go, Digby's dad plans to. Digby's fancy ribbon will end, so I'm actually hear stuff I see. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Suak, it's just Suak or Ace. It's just Summer Suak. That's a shithole. Yeah, there's that too. I may have slipped Goose Whisper to the Prosperity Inquisitor before his makeup. Hey, Debbie, hey. But thank you for giving 5 subs. But it is your shithole. That is definite. It is your shithole. It was a lot of fun seeing it all, sort of everything going on around, because I got to watch, like, the Suak were doing their things and the Steiner were trying to do their stuff and being Steiner about it, and oh yeah, so Esme, yeah, hoping to get the holiday through, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Stufa, hi. Hi there. Hello. How you doing? I insulted Summer Suak in front of the new Suak magistrate. That was fun. Yeah, that's fine. Finally got some drugs to summit myself, but had to give one to a mate so he could do it with his friends because I got wounded from fighting a hellwolf while astral projecting. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. What have I missed? Dolly got what? Did Dolly got purple? I'm just glad it feels like I've. So yeah, Helen actually had an event. Exactly, Biscuit. No clue. So Helen actually had an event where she loved playing her character and actually got, I think, finally has clicked with her character. She's the Thane. She stepped in. She was large and in charge, and did really good job. Um, as you said, it's only taken her 3 years. So who would have thought it was a mass? It was me kicking the crap out of people. Um, people's auras Inga was seeing after taking Goose Whisper. Right. So agree, Thane Supreme. I did enjoy watching Helen telling people what to do. I mean, to be honest, Biscuit, I know that if you saw me coming around kicking, like beating the crap out of people, I don't know actually. What would Kagan have done? Would he have come along and got involved? I don't know. That would have been interesting. I'd, yeah, I know you would. That's good to know. That's very, very good to know. Um, I don't need legitimate excuse. Depends on the mood, but yeah, I mean, yeah, always fight you. I mean, the thing would have been because at one point I did have my axes on, so yeah, so I was shattering stuff. Um, so I would have, yeah, it wouldn't. I would have. I mean, I was on 10 hits in my pants, so it was, yeah, it would have taken a while, but it was great. It was really good fun. Um, Anvil Mud was good. Um, where's that gone? I saw Debbie Harry put something up. Uh, oh yeah, it was nice to finally take the Kohan out drinking, and even had a chance to come to the bar IC, and it was lovely. So thanks to all the people we met and role played with. Oh, that's fantastic. I had a lot of good things about the Kohan in the battle this time round. I was that cultist. Um, oh, was that you? The cultist. Yeah, very much so. Um, is that all? Is that all sorted now? That Dunning stuff. I hope so. I didn't have that. I didn't actually want to hit you. You should have done. I was about to execute a hallmate of yours. You should have. You should have done. Ish. Okay, I won't talk about it. Was it? Yeah, it has to get sorted. But it was really cool. I mean, yeah. So there was lots of stuff. I do feel like the militia were very. Yeah, so many people were arrested for bite. There were loads more arrests. There was a load more trials. None of us want to start on Cal. It was probably a sensible thing. I don't think there are too many people in their pants who would be able to actually take me on. Um, 65 thrones or death. Yeah. Hey, CJ. These poor marchers. Fuck off. The poor marchers. My ass. Having a tantrum and throwing your toys out the pram. People seem to not like fighting in Anvil, but it's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. Right, I'm gonna shoot off and try to sleep. Yes, you have a good night, mate. You get some. You get some kip. Because it must be coming up for like 3 in the morning for you. Hassel and the Ace. Yeah, they paid off their thing. I had an ace moment. My goal of the event was to find someone at Anvil who knew about the Grimmelkints. And after wandering around the field for a whole day asking forest owners about them, it clicked that the person with all the answers was me all along. That's fantastic. That's really cool. All I had at the time was a chili ladle. Oh, rabbit. How you feeling? You all better? Recovered? But yeah, so that was me going around beating up the hall and coming back. Um, I mean, there was stuff that happened, but it's not really my place to talk about it. Um, we had, I mean, a tent in Dawn tried to set itself on fire, but that was a thing. And that's a PD thing, so it's not really my place to. Not really my place to talk about either, but everyone was fine. No one got hurt, which is good. Yeah. So the battle on Saturday, which was in Breggers Land, basically the marchers were kicking up a stink because they weren't fighting in Breggers Land. That was it, and they all kicked off. The Orcs have done it. They've done it. Other nations will do it. It's a thing that happens. Did not enjoy work today, but I'm back to normal. Thank you for ordering me to chill. Oh God, I was never going to let you walk around anymore. I wasn't going to let you walk around anymore. I was impressed with how PD dealt with the fire, though. Well, it was a couple of players. So it was Gallon and Tiny seemed to go over and deal with it, and they had the tractor thing full of water and stuff. So yeah, their thing full of water. So it got dealt with, but it was, yeah. I'm just glad there was only that one incident. There could have been so many more. So, but yeah, it was. PD did well. I mean, Gate seemed to be a lot better this time round as well. It was rather warm. So, but we had so the battle on Saturday. It was Brass Coast, League, Navarre, and Wintermark against everyone else. Not that you ever mentioned it. No, I know. Neither of them mentioned the fire at all, ever. It wasn't the entire topic of conversation coming out of their mouths for the next 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, our campsite was full constantly. Did you know that Gallon got clean? Yeah, my God, it was exactly the same thing, wasn't it? Yeah, we will. Dylan got clean. Yeah. Oh my God, it was it was a moment. I had no idea, no. But right, so battle happened. My first battle in proper battle since the surgery for me. So a little bit nervous about it all because I'm not fit, and it was first battle in in a long time since. So I was a bit nervous about it all. But he got no fuck Gallon. I'm not talking about it because it's still going on. So we went to we got to the gate, and Kit's two young daughters, Molly and Helia, opened the gate. So two little baby Navari opened the gate with the blood and stuff like that, and they drew on my face a bit. And they did Bron, they did Smith as well. So for me, they like coloured in my cheeks, and they put a bit of blood down here, and a bit of blood up here, and that was it. Was it adorable to watch? Was it? It was so cute. So Molly was there. There wasn't enough for you. That's why I didn't come and collect you. So there was enough for me and Smith, because there was only a tiny amount on the little bowl, that the little plate thing they had. Looking like I did look like an angry clown. So they did that on me, and it was so funny because Smith was there. And so you tried to tell Molly what to do when she's doing stuff like that. Nah, your face is a blank canvas to her now. So she had a tiniest amount of blood, and he just went, right, just give me a couple of lines down here. So with nothing on her fingers, she just went like that. And then she got a load more, and then the drawing commenced. So she was like, put more on all over. So he goes, yeah, that bit. So it's just like drawing a bit more on his forehead. It was so funny. It was so good to watch. But I mean, fair play to Smith. Really good sport. Let her do it. Didn't say anything. Didn't complain. And it was so good. Kids. They made the game. They made it what it was. And it was just so nice. But you feel a bit more G'd up for it. So I went back to look for my group for the Ploughshare to see where they were. I couldn't find them at all. So I went in. I walked in at the back. I think I was the last one in to walk into the field, and it was so sweet. We did wonder if sacrificing Kit was part of the plan. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. But it was so good. It was so lovely. Because I walked into the field and everybody went off. I was having a chat with Steelstorm, who, when I was playing Mac, they were like my children. They were like my little kids, and I've got such a soft spot for them as a whole. They are all really good lads, and I know that they're there to have fun, and it was so cool. So they were right at the back as well, so they came and sort of stood with me, and we were just chatting, and we walked in, and they were like, right, we've got to go to support the Iron Bastards. We're going to be over in that corner over there, going right over there. And I was just like, okay, I'll follow you lot then. So we walked in, and then I did me, and we got, I don't know, 50 feet into the field when you could see the fighting going on. And you had the refs going, react to the fighting when you get into the field. We're like, okay. So I casually strolled. And they walked on, and I was watching the Brass Coast getting beaten up in the middle. Because they were very, very thinly spread. And it was so nice, because I just turned to them and I just said, oh, look, there's a flag over there. There's one of their banners that we need. And they just went, we've got to go to the Iron Bastards, but we'll see you later. They just knew. And off I wandered towards it. And I was really apprehensive when fighting the first orc that came out, well, the first Jotun that came over. And yeah, I killed them, but it was just a lot slower trying to ease my way back into it. But it was lovely. It was so nice to beat the shit out of them. And they went and then just carried on. Didn't execute anyone in this battle either. I just forgot to. And so I went off and got close. Then I was getting more and more into it, and I was picking up pace, and I was running around. And then the shattering started. And I started shattering everything left, right, and centre again. Well, spears and shields mainly. And yeah, when I sort of like jumped in, we do. Well, I do. It's just a thing. If Kagan is off with me, we're allowed to execute. You have my permission to execute Jotun, mate. It's fine. You have full permission. I walked past them. I actually walked past the war correspondents trying to draw the battle on easel. That was weird. I didn't know how to react to that. I remember walking past them, stopping, staring at it, and just walking past. And then I kept on going. But yeah, when we started shattering, I started shattering things in the middle, and then I think that because the Kohan were on one side of me, and they pushed on, and they were just going hell for leather. And then that was when sort of like I think just the extra shock or someone trying to push people forward meant the Brass Coast then just went ham in the middle. And then that meant Wintermark could push around on the right, Navarre pushed around on the left, and they were gone from the field really quickly. So then I was on the bridge, and we had the Crimson Reapers come over and do... No, I saw you in the trees on the copse on the left. I saw you walk through, and I was just like, oh, I'll go over, but then I got in... I got involved in a bit more of a fight and lost you. So I was coming to look for... I was actually asking people where you were, because I knew you'd give me something fun to do. So we kept on doing that, and that was really cool. And everyone sort of like was around the gate bit. So I was stood on the bridge, on the entrance to the woods on the right-hand side, and I was just stood there. Then the Reapers did the mass weakness, and there was some Top Gun looking motherfucker who went running in straight after the weakness was called and just went to town. It was fun. That was funny to watch. That was really cool. And then the Iron Bastards pushed through and tried to claim all the credit. It was you. I know it was you. You Top Gun looking motherfucker. So it was really cool. It was really fun to watch. And then we got off into the woods, and I went round to the right, and I just started pushing through that way. And Jean had given me my orders of looking for someone with a feathery collar to go and murder. I failed, unfortunately. I got close. When I was at the fort at the end, he was literally like 6 feet away from me, but we were so strung out. Saturday's battle was an absolute. The field was great. The retreat was great, apparently, but no one's allowed to blame anyone. Um, yes, I was, and it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. We didn't succeed in anything. Um, all the banners and everything, and the general ended up. Um, it ended up in the fort. So we got through and we got to the fort. And I literally had people coming up to me with Scops Meads. So if you watch this and you gave me a Scops Mead, thank you so much. People were coming up to me and just like shoving this card in my gob. So I do have the potion fizz rep attached to my belt. It looks like a bollock. You know, I'm compensating now. I'm allowed to. And we were just pushing around. I had one of the funniest moments ever in a battle. And it was so good. It was hard. I had a great battle. I loved it. I had such a good time. Oh, I had so much fun. The army was basically where it fell apart. The army split into three, and the field marshal was on the left, trying to give orders to everyone else, but the runners couldn't get through. So none of the other two groups were getting any orders. So they stopped. It sort of stagnated, and that was it. So that's where it all fell apart. But yeah, so I didn't really enjoy that part. All the runners were gone. Your runners were killed. I'm not surprised. So it was a lot of interesting ones. I did hear the best review. The objective was to complete 3 banners of the Jotun. The Jotun ended there was another reason. So the Jotun ended with 4 banners, because there was a challenge, the Iron Duke, that happened. So the Jotun were meant to get another banner. They was meant to be given a banner back, but they nicked it instead of being gifted it. So you know, the runners that's a hard job, really, really hard job, and in that heat as well, holding for no reason. There was so much. It was a mess, but I had a great time. I loved it. I had so much fun fighting, but I was back to fighting again, so I was obviously gonna have fun. But we got to the fort. So this is what happened to me at this fort. We had our little line, and I was watching with us. I was there chatting away to a lovely Jotun who looked like a certain Mr. the Biffer. And we were chatting, we were just screaming at each other, chatting away. It was so much fun. Zydor, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're good. I hope you're well. So we had that, which was great. So basically everyone knew that I was shattering everything. And there was a ref stood 2 feet to my left against the wall. And so I'm stood here with my axes like this. So every time the spear came through, I was just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then he went quite far. And then I swung. He pulled his spear back. So this ref got both of my axes in his face. So that was, basically everyone was like, ooh. That's what came in. And we were just like, you alright? So that was literally, everyone just sort of stopped on that flank. It was so funny. So yeah, the player of Brenos, Owen, unfortunately took 2 of my axes to his face. I am very sorry. It was funny. It's funny now. But he was alright, thankfully. And we just kept on going. So we pushed them round. Then we came to the highlight, the absolute highlight. And it was this this short Jotun who had a massive shield and a spear, and I saw Mono's social get his hammer trapped in someone's halberd, and then just ripped the halberd out of their hands. The ref just laughed. It was great. Yeah, it does happen. He didn't say that, though. That was brilliant. I heard about someone running past him, and as he went to swing to hit them in the chest, they ducked, so he twatted them in the face instead. That was brilliant. Yeah, I heard Brennos died not long after time in. So, but I think it's been a long time coming, though, for Brennos. I think Owen's been wanting to get rid of him for a while. So, but yeah, so we did that so that was going on. So anyway, this little Jotun right in front of me, it was great. It was so funny. So as he came at me and charged, so I shattered his shield. So he threw it. Then he was going with the spear, so I shattered the spear. And I started wailing on him and he went down. And I was just sort of stood over him, and everyone else was sort of moving around. The Jotun were moving backwards away from us, and people were coming around. The small Jotun in front of me picked him up. I'm unstoppable. And he came and he just grabbed hold of me, and he was like, in my face. And I was just like, for fuck's sake, mate, just like, you know, you're done. Just walk out. Just go home. Go home. And he was just like, no, scream it. So we just started twatting him. We killed him. I left my phone on. I'm sorry. So we killed him, and he went off. Literally, monsters, players, refs, as he walked off, was just gave him a round of applause as he went. It was amazing. So if anyone knows who that orc is, I don't know who they are, but if anyone knows who that orc is, I want to buy them a drink. Because it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Good evening, good sir. How you doing? So the fight carried on round, and then it was Osric sort of charged off and got cut off. And then me, Patrick, and Smith, we all sort of like pushed round to. I know who it is, do I? Oh, I need to know who it is, because I don't know who it is. If it was Tiny, then I'm not buying him a drink. But yeah, so we carried on round. So we sort of, Osric was cut off a little bit, so we got him back. Osric fed me Scops meads. It was great. And then we pushed round to the front, and that was it. No one was getting into the fort. By that time, we'd been so spread out that the fight was already as good as lost. To be honest, the Jotun had lost so many that they had reformed, and their new column was coming in. So this is where it took I say a bad turn, but it's a positive as well in a way, I guess. So the monsters and the players, I'm blanking on the name, but you know it's because I heard this story from the other side. I need to find out who they are. I should probably start looking at things like potions and stuff. I just go on with the shield. Yeah, you need potions. So, the players, the monsters, it was like they'd hit each other, and then they'd stop for like a minute, because it was so hot that everybody was suffering, and they wanted to give people a chance to have a breather for a couple of minutes. So around the fort, it's why we'd hit each other, and then we'd stop and just start insulting each other. Well, I wasn't insulting any of them. I was inviting them all back to the pub for a drink. So, you know, I was doing my job. And that was great. So it was really, really good. The refs, I mean, my experiences with the refs in that fight, they were a lot more on point when it came to stopping people being dumb. And they were calling out more rule breakers and stuff like that, and telling people to take hits and things like that. It was nice. So like an archer shot at me, and I thought it hit me on my tassets, and the ref said, I thought it hit you on the tassets. The player goes, no, it definitely hit you. Like, it's like, okay, well, it would have hit me on the cock then, but I didn't feel it there. Maybe I'm too small to feel it there. Who knows? So that happened. And I was just like, and he was just like, fine, whatever. I was like, okay, fine. So I said to the ref, like, I'll take the hit. And I said, I'll go off. I've got, it's a hero point to get I'll take it if it's on the leg to get my leg back, the leg back anyway. So, and he's just like, yeah, that's fine. So I did that. Did the role play, came back. And he was just like, and then he was shouting over, he goes, oh, did you take it? It was just like, yeah. He was like, thumbs up. And that then, I think it was the same guy he had the best arrow shot I've ever seen as well. Because it got caught in the wind. So he fired it, got caught in the wind, and then just literally dropped. On the smaller side, and is the second best. Was it Sam? Is it Sam? Ah. Oh, if that was Sam, that's amazing. That's so cool. That is so cool. Ah, Sam's awesome. Love him. Wow, there we go. I didn't interact with any boggarts at all. Not one. Not one whatsoever. Which was a shame, because I did want to get involved in that. So all of that happened. I was going to try to read the name of the person who just followed, but I can't. So never mind. Apologies for that. So, and he very happily told me that. That's amazing. Oh, and yeah. So we carried on the fight, and we got all the way around, and we were stood there, and a bit of man. So the Jotuns sort of like were coming out because we were pulling away. We were going to do like a fullback, and they were going Jotun, 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 as you do. As soon as they finished chanting, I started chanting Brian, because it sounded like it. So I was going Brian. A few of the Jotun joined in. I will hasten to add. So we were pulling back, and then they came forward with their spears and stuff. So you like parry, parry, parry. Then I don't blame the person for what happened at all. Okay. I took a spear shot to my bollock. Well, to the area 6 times. And I lost the feelings in my legs, and I was seeing stars. So I just dropped to the floor, and the ref stopped. Well, moved everybody on basically. So I literally medically I had to leave the field, and Social did as well because he had heat stroke. So everybody, yeah. So Bron, everybody who saw me going down, people tried to come back to get me, but they couldn't get back through because all the Jotun had pushed forward. And yeah, they didn't even buy me dinner. But the ref said to me, right, how many hits are you on? So I told him, and he's like, okay, I've seen you take this many, so you're fine. We'll just get you off the field. So they basically took us back, and that was it. You saw me coming back through no man's ground. They got me through to Monster, but then let me walk back across to the gate, so I could walk back into we could walk back into Anvil. Yeah, a box is big and clever. Really, I will be ordering one. People were saying Cal's dead. So I got back and I sat down, and people came out to me going, do I know you? I was like, yes. They're like, oh shit, we thought you died. I'm like, no, I'm fine. But did you see the winter markers chanting mushroom for the person with that phenomenal mushroom kit? I heard them. I saw the mushroom. Yeah, everyone thought Cal was dead. I said, no. And it was a lot of fun. Oh, it was so much fun, that battle. I had such a good time. And then we got back and we just chilled. Connecting to chat. Did the stream just drop out for anyone? At all? No? Okie dokie. Oh, that's good. Because it just came up with me all like a little error message just popped up. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. But the refs then said, someone's at the door. Because of all of this, you're not allowed. We don't want you fighting. No more skirmishes. No nothing. You need to rest and recover. So I was literally banned from fighting at all after that, which was fine. Hey, Ryan. How you doing, mate? Chocolate. Mushroom nearly got shanked a few times. Fortunately, someone was nearby to confirm they weren't. Hello, Herald. Yeah. Yes, no, that was Esme's already mentioned that. So, Ben and Emily turned up with the wee ones. So we had little Steve and little Tim there. And I kidnapped little Steve and went for a wander. So took him for not even a long wander, and went off. Had a little loop around Dawn. May have fallen asleep. I'll catch up on what I missed. How you doing, Ryan? Are you feeling all right? So a lot of people had sunstroke, and I know people. I think the mushroom core has creeped in from online and stuff. I think there's now a thing under Briars that mushroom Briars aren't a thing. Right. Okay, that was interesting. I'll be honest, when you said you'd been told not to fight and the bollock thing, I just assumed you'd maybe reacted poorly in the moment. No, I was... there was a concern that they had ripped everything, my scrotum open, essentially. And yeah, the paramedics were just like... I haven't even finished yet, Hayden. I got so much more that happened. I had such a busy event. I wasn't aware you were told by refs not to fight anymore. I thought Helen did due to bollock. Bollock got a bollocking, yeah. But no, they just said, be sensible, don't fight. Just, yeah, no more fighting for you. It's mainly because PD are great. They don't want to see their players get really badly hurt. There you go. So it was a very good call. I mean, I was on a walking stick. I was using Digby's walking stick for a while. Yeah, Helen wishes she had that power. I think everyone does. It took crew to stop me from doing anything. But yeah, it was a very good call, and it helped. So came back from the battle, and everything was groovy. Then I managed to get my bone hives sorted and paid for. So, and then we had all this stuff with the drugs going on as well. So Hayden will be happy to know, as our alderman, that we've got all the resources needed and then some, which is absolutely fantastic, because it felt like everybody had a good event, like to an extent, even with the weather. So yeah, we got all our resources collected. So in the first event, our bar, I don't think our bar made like 4 crowns, to be honest. I think our bar did nothing didn't do anything in the first event. This time around we made just under 11 thrones. I hear Alfman. Yeah, Alfman was even dragged into a deep state meeting. Yes, his book club. Just over 11 thrones. Best event for me so far. Yeah, it was a phenomenal event. Yeah, it's been my best event since Mac died. That's for sure. I think it was an event where I was finally able to get used to being Cal, and it was lovely. We came and tried to clear you out of Chile. I think we cleared ourselves out of Chile. Chile was amazing. A couple of thrones all weekend. It was too cold and quiet in Wintermark for people. Um, hey Remco, how you doing? Late to the party. Happy to. It was a good event, and Bar did good. Yeah, Rabbit made an absolute fortune. We almost did we? So is it fair to say you found your keen again? Yeah, yeah. I mean, before the event, I had contemplated just giving it all up in its entirety. From idiots threatening me for doing stuff like this, and no keen for Cal, yeah, and everything. And then you see Pete, and then everything that happened, and then we get on Sunday something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've never had the chance to do, which was to literally go through all of the drugs and everything, and see what I had and work out what was what. So Jazz turned up with her two friends who I forget the name of. Dan lost you a customer when he quoted me a throne for a drink brought to me over the road. What? Yeah, yeah. If he was tiny, it was understandable, but not for you. They like to remain anonymous. So Jazz came and sat down with these two Navari, and we literally just sat there. What would we do without our hefty Yeti stream? I don't know. I think mental health would improve. You'd all be happy. Um, I think they're phenomenal. I mean, you three really made my day on Sunday. It was so good. So we just literally sat there and went through everything, and then we found one, and just literally when they said, "Oh, it's like morphine," and the idea that we had, and then I gave you a load to go off and sell, or to talk to them about. It was brilliant. It was so chill, and it was just so nice going through everything. It was great. It was, yeah, one of my highlights of the weekend. So the fighting was great, and then the drugs have become great again, and um, yeah, make drugs great again. So it was so good. Um, I did not do the fighting I intended, but now looking back, I think it's better that way, because I probably would have ended up in the medic tent again in that heat. Yeah, but the thing is that in the fights, though, Esme, is that if you're overheating, heat stroke or anything like that, just put your finger in the air and off you go, and that was it. Yeah, no one tell Gallon anything about the Navari traders, because he won't deal with them, but I am. Um, we were so careful. We were so careful to avoid carrying anything illegal, but we had misidentified a pot we found, and had been unintentionally carrying bad stuff. Need a new player guide. Yeah, so there's a drugs guide that's out there. It's been written by Patches, which I'm going to rewrite. Well, I'm not going to rewrite it. I'm just going to jiggle the layout of it all, rejig the layout, and make it easier to read through. I mean, I'm not stealing his work. I'm going to credit Patches with this new piece, because it just needs to be a little bit easier to read, I think. So, selling drugs at your account because it's one of the safer places to sell them. Yeah, and then there's, oh no, I can't talk about that as well, because that's still ongoing plot. Need to find out more about that one. But yeah, it's the slang names, and it's the descriptions, and it's just about making things. It's just about making things a little bit easier to read. So, but Patches has done a phenomenal job with the book. I think I've got it here actually. Yes. Oh yes, the whole. Yeah, yeah. So there's this. So the no narcotics of the Empire. Yeah, pain of juggling plot. Yeah, so I've got to be. I have a very strict. I'll talk about plot if it's finished, or if it's stuff in the past. Well, to an extent, but if it's all ongoing, then no, I can't. I can't talk about it anymore because it's not fair to affect. It's not fair to affect my game and other people's games like that. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, so I'm going to rewrite that to an extent, and I'll chuck it and I'll get it printed out. I still treasure the time we'll try to openly trade you bite. Yeah, that wasn't the most sensible thing. But then again though, I've had people come up to me going, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. It's like, well, that's bite, which is always fun. There's so much bite in that field. It's unbelievable. I wasn't surprised so many people were getting arrested. Anonymous, bite is a sometimes food. Very much so. Very, very much so. I did enjoy seeing a lot of people's reactions to the bite, not to bite, to any of the drugs in general. It was great to watch. Um, yeah, so there was loads of bits and bobs that were going on. I'm gonna see what I've got in my little pouch just to see if it jogs my memory on anything because my memory is shit. Oh yeah, I'm now richer than I was before I went in. Um, your bottle plot is not done. They gave me no indication there is more, but it seemed too significant to not be more. You need to go up to the Navarre and speak to some people who I can point you in the right direction of off stream. Probably even if you identify the stuff, it is a totally different name. Yeah, each of the drugs have like 2 names on them. So I've got loads of. Oh, I've got so much shit in here. Oh yeah, so I need to write a letter to Axos, which is going to be good fun. When the court reports come out for this event in future, it will be. Yeah, I'm actually going to read it myself, because I just want to see what's said to a lot of people. No, I've got too much shit in here. Loads of resources. Oh yeah. So in the Winds of Fortune or War or some one of them, because I grew a, yeah, that's Nether. So yeah, you needed to speak to him, but you also need to speak to Shan Eternal as well. So the Chaos Fruit is still doing the rounds, and so you had the old Chaos Fruit, which if you got another 5 of them, you could essentially double the output of your Chaos Forest. So I've still got 3 Chaos Fruit, and then I had a weird one. So this is the outcome from the forest. So apart from what I'd normally get from the forest, this is all I got from the Chaos Fruit. This. I haven't taken it. Well, I've obviously not had it. And this season was the last season that you get. Yeah, it was telling a lot of people that they should have had 2 Chaos Fruit, as well as this, but they shouldn't have had the Chaos Fruit listed. Yeah, I had the same thing. So it was literally just this. So it's an interesting description. So I mean, this is not ruining anything for anyone. So I'll give you. Is it just it's a forest that can grow chaos fruit. So you get the stuff from the forest. So I think I've got iridescent gloaming or something. I can't remember. Something I'll never use. And then you get this, which is quite fun. So apparently the Chaos Forests are going to be a permanent resource. So if you've got one last season or this season, you are going to be the only people in the field with it. That's it. No one's going to be able to get it built or anything done. So as far as I'm aware, there are less than 10 in that whole field, which is great. And I've had it I've had mine doubled as well. Someone from God explained that they changed the people getting chaos fruit from forests to potion of something fruit in Data's place, but it messed things up for everyone else. So it reads, the fruit is noticeably warm to the touch, seems to pulse slightly, it smells unpleasantly of rotting flesh, and will take an effort of will to bite into. While the rind is dry, it leaves an oily residue when you handle it. So yeah, it's man meat. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So, another two people, what, they got it done for the second time, or was that the first time? So, yeah, so that we need, so I'm looking forward to being able to get a lot more Slimer's Wetman Muscle Fruit, yeah, so it's a plum. But I think it's going to be very interesting. One of them got it done for a second time. Different forest. Okay, so they're essentially level 1 Chaos Forests then. So whereas mine's going to be a level 2 Chaos Forest. So I should now get 2 of these Chaos Fruits every event. Which will mean that they'll be very, very rare. And I can charge a fortune for them. So, just really quite open, aren't I? I'm stripping off for you lot. Literally cake or death in one handy fruit. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of fun with this Chaos Fruit in the future, and I think a lot of people are going to want it, and I think PD have got a big idea planned for it, and I'm all here for it. I can't wait. The Choco Chaos Fruit is delicious. I think which one? My favorite was the blueberries, one. Yeah, someone tried to sell me Chaos Fruit for a throne each, and I talked them down to 4 crowns each. There's a rush on cake. Yeah, we're all out of cake. We only had 4 slices, and we didn't expect such a rush. It wasn't Highguard. It wasn't Highguard who tried. Oh, what, the Chaos Fruit? Yeah, It's then you're not going to be able to ban it because it's a resource. It would be such a boss move for Matt to switch the descriptions and effects around. Or what on the? There's been militia ban on the Chaos Fruit, or are you talking the Yellow Lotus drama? I'm looking forward to blowing that up. I can't wait for that one. So I just saw a Moobot there. Very running question about upgrading resources. Is there a cap to it, like level wise, or if you're rich, you could just keep on going? Yellow Lotus drama is hilarious. I'm looking forward. Yeah, I can't wait to blow that one up. That's going to be fun. Yeah. So the Grapevine will be back next event, which is good. And I need to put in I need to write a something in it, which I have to sit down and think about, because that's going to be a lot of fun. I expect militia to clamp down on it. I also expect militia's powers to be curtailed soon by Sin on Judgments after some pretty heavy-handed law enforcement. That's really interesting. Hey Steph, sorry I haven't replied yet, my dear. I have seen your message. Yeah, there's a mod somewhere. There we go. That's 2 tonight. Fucking hate people. Yeah, I'm excited to find it. I think either I'm going to take one or Biscuit's going to take one next season. The militia were very heavy-handed this event, and I was all here for it. I really enjoyed hearing about it. One of the oily Chaos Fruit. Either you'll take it or I'll take it. Um, but yeah, they were arresting people for having like one bite on them, and it's just like, just just take it, give them a fine. But people were going to trial for having one bite, and it was great. Yeah, yeah, voluntarily take. Yeah, I mean, I gave him this Kraken ink, and he took it. He just went, yeah, take that. And he did. Uh, Militia member X knows all of the law. Oh, right, okay, but not the spirit of it. Okay, that sucks. Okay, that does sucks. Catch you later, CJ. Another Kraken was they enforce law by consent. There is no consent in Y Nation. Right. Oh well. Yeah. Bite is illegal. You can't have it on your person at all. But the weird thing is that if they come along and catch you with bite, you can get out of it by taking it immediately. So, um, catch you later, Matt. I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Find something to feed Biscuit. Yeah. So, there's 3 physics in our hall now. Is there? No, but if you take it, you want to attack them, and then you'll get arrested. Yeah, yeah, you'll get arrested for assault then, but you know, at least it's not for bite because assault is just a £4 fine. So, geez, I didn't realise that was the time. So you see, I'm so excited about the last event. Um, I've had such a good time. I really, really have. I've had such a wonderful, wonderful time, and I'm looking forward to the next event already. It's going to be a really, really good one. UAlf and Doorhinge. Uh, okay. Oh yeah, there's 3. I meant to spend my evening looking into making drug baked goods. I'm not doing a part 2 to this. I might have a chat with people and see if I can. I'll see if Social wants to come on and talk about his first event because I know he had quite a chilled one. On Monday, I've got the Kohan coming on. So Debbie, Harry, and another 2 people who I can't remember the names of at the moment. So yeah, I've got the Kohan coming on Monday. So we're going to chat Brass Coast and Kohan. Um, that's weird. Got the door open to the outside. Talshir and Salem. Yeah, the Kohan have actually they found their feet again, which has been really nice to hear. It was the Kohan were great. Shame about the rest of the Brass Coast though. That was literally what people were saying. They'll come round because it's just the way of it. Um, I still need to teach you. Yes, you do. So, um, Zara has. Me and Zara have been chatting for a little bit about because, but with all the moving Zara's been doing, there's been a lot of stuff going on. So I was going to get some chainmail and the tools, and she was going to teach me how to make chainmail. I can't use staples on that, so that was going to be. But yeah, the less I say about the military council, the better. Um, but one of the people in the military council had the right idea because they fell asleep, and me and this other guy, we were just giggling away to ourselves. Um, Very demoralising for new players to hear. I don't think it is. I think that hearing that and people are struggling because when Wintermark suddenly had 200 new players, Wintermark were the worst nation there. And it meant that we suddenly grew new captains, new units formed, and everybody sort of just went and formed into these little things, and it started to become more coherent, and things worked. That's what Brass Coast need now. Brass Coast need, if they get a few more captains, people who work underneath. You got too many captains. Oh, get rid of some then. Form other units, and then they need a heart of the brass. Yeah, something like that. And then just to pull everybody together. Because it's the thing of having a lot of new players as well. And in all honesty, the weird one was they were smack bang in the middle of the field. They were in direct sunlight throughout the whole thing. So that wasn't. Yeah, that gag, like, I could have fought with them for that whole battle. So it's a weird one. When people were saying, oh, so the Kohan were great, Shema out the rest of Brass Coast. So, yeah. So Cal and Jean then, next battle, right, yeah, we're going to go fight the Brass Coast because that's more fun. So I loved it. I really enjoyed fighting with them. So I didn't see it myself. I thought they were great. They pushed through. If it wasn't for the Brass Coast, that field would have taken a lot longer to get through. So the field marshal was pretty awful. But I've got lots of reasons for that. So yeah. So Jazz, don't get downhearted by it, and Pete, don't get downhearted by it at all, because I loved it. I thought they were great. Yeah, let's just assassinate the field marshal. So our healers work. So the healers are great. I think All Nation, the healers are really, they're the unsung heroes, I think, for a lot of it, because they get all the great role play. Fighting's easy, really, really easy, and I think, yeah, the healers are the unsung heroes. So orcs in league clothes will be so much, yeah. Oh, but no, it was great. Yeah, it's such a good event. I really, really did, and my lay-in this morning was till about like 8:15. Someone wanted to organise an Istvan drop site massacre on the Imperials by Imperials years ago. Never happened. Oh yeah. Oh, I have to get you on, Johnny. We have to talk marches and shit. Yeah, you have to come on. I know you said you would, but yeah, we have to get that done as well. Had an absolute hero of a healing unit simultaneously heal my cleave leg and and slap an ice pack on the back of my neck. That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I had the Jotun like feeding me water. My side of the spiral plot was just escalating madness. There was so much. There was so much good stuff. I'm actually going to write an email to PD, feedback one, just to say it was great. Everything was great. Can they turn down the temperature on the weather machine? No, next time. Just a little bit, not much. So, but yeah. Right, we're going to go. So we're actually going to raid someone new for once. So there's a guy called Ed Trotz. The exiting. Yeah, always can. The getting off site is always bad. It's never been good since event 1, year 1. It's never been good. So we're going to raid a guy called Ed Trotz. He actually, if you haven't seen it, he's the one who made the trailer for my channel. He was, yeah, he's really, really talented. So, yeah, so going. I've never really watched his streams before. He's a funny guy. So yeah, go and give him some love, and show him how amazing LARPers are, because we are fucking awesome people. No, there's no wait. We're going. So much love to you all. I hope you all had a great event and you're drinking enough water in this heat. Take care. I'll speak to you all soon. Well, I'll see a lot of you on Friday, I hope. Bye-bye.